following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
From Hollywood, The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. This is Ed McMahon, along with Doc Severinsen, and the NBC Orchestra, inviting you to join Johnny and his guests, Diane Cannon, Phyllis Newman, Carmel Myers, and a visit from Tiny Tim. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
The Tulips, the Timmies.
Orleans, where everything is fine. Start drinking that wine. Clear the light. When it gets rough, start singing all night. Drink a wine, sporty, oldie, drink a wine, pop, pop. Drink a wine, sporty, oldie, drink a wine, pop, pop. Drink a wine, sporty, oldie, drink a wine. Pass that bottle to me. Drink a wine, sporty, oldie, drink a wine, pop, pop. Drink a wine, sporty, oldie, drink a wine, pop, pop. Drink a wine, sporty, oldie, drink a wine, pop, pop. Pass that bottle. Elderberry, wine, 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 black cherry, wine, 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 raspberry, wine, 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 half and half, wine, 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 oh boy, pass that bottle to me. Yeah. In a dinky honky-tonky village in Texas, there's a guy who plays the best piano. He can play piano any way that you like it, but the beat he loves the best is 8 to the bar. When he jams, it's a ball. He's the daddy of them all. A blink, blank, blink, blank, blink, blank, plunking all the keys. A riff, raff, riff, raff, riff, raff, riffing out with ease. But when he jams with the bass and guitar, they holler on the beat, down, 8 to the bar. My mere fist to shake, oh let me explain. My mere fist to shake means that you're grand. I've tried to explain. My mere fist to shake, my me means you're the fairest in the land. My mere fist to shake, don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, no, no. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home. Now don't go strolling down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, no, no. Don't go strolling down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me till I come marching home. Now roll out the barrel. We'll have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel. We got the blues on the run. Sing, rock the rattle. Ring out a song of good cheer. Why everybody loves the barrel when the gang's on. Thank you. Sing, 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 sing. Everybody start to sing. La-di-la, ho-ho-ho. Now you're singing with a swing. Sing, 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 sing. Everybody start to sing. La-di-la, ho-ho-ho. Now you're singing with a swing. When the music goes around, all them cats go into town. When they start to go, go, go. Ho-ho, baby, ho-ho-ho. Sing, 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 sing. Everybody start to sing. La-di-la, ho-ho-ho. Now you're singing with a swing. At the piano, Mr. Larry Klug. At the bass, Mr. Ed Sturbins. At the guitar, Mr. Ken Hatfield. At the drums, Mr. Tony Tedesco. These are the Timmies. Sing, 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 sing. Everybody start to sing. La-di-la, ho-ho-ho. Now you're singing with a swing. Sing, 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 sing. Everybody start to sing. La-di-la, ho-ho-ho. Now you're singing with a swing. The Tulip Dancers. Sing, 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 sing.
You added a lot of people to the act, didn't you?
Well,
Well, my managers did, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's that many more people to take care of, right? Also.
Oh, the more the merrier.
My next guest will be opening in Las Vegas at the Hilton with Anne Margaret on January the 3rd, but she's also a great buddy of Dinah and mine, and she's a tremendous comedian, great singer, Miss Kay Ballard.
Looking at you, while troubles are fleeing, I'm admiring the view, 'cause it's you I'm seeing, and the sweet honeydew of well-being settles upon me. What is this light that shines when you enter like a star at night? And what's to prevent it from destroying my sight if you center all of it on me? Looking at you, I'm filled with the essence of the quintessence of joy. Looking at you, I hear folks telling of lovely Helen of Troy. Life seems so gray, I wanted to bend to have wonderful day. Started to mend it, and if you'll only stay, I'll spend it looking at you. Look at that face. Just look at it. Look at that fabulous face of yours. I knew first look I took at it. This was the face that the world adored. Look at those eyes. As wise and as deep as the sea. Look at that nose. It shows what a nose should be. As for your smile, it's lyrical, friendly and warm as a summer's day. That dearest, dearest, most preciousness, adorable face is such a miracle. How could I ever find words to say? The way that it makes me happy, whatever the time will bring, I'll find in no book what I find when I look at Burt Reynolds' face.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Ask me who I hate?
You get anything permaplacked. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. My next guest really a handsome fellow, and if you don't recognize him right away, you should know him right away from this picture. Where are we? Right over here. I love him. He's a very, very funny fella and a good friend, Dub Taylor.
Hey, Doc, what do you know?
I love your outfit.
Huh?
Love your outfit.
Well, I bought one of them fancy shops in Beverly Hills.
Did you really?
Yeah, you know, shoot one of them things. You only see what painted. Kind of jazz it up a little bit in D flat.
I like it.
Well, thank you.
I like it. What is this picture you're doing? Flash and the Fire Cat?
Yeah.
Sounds like one of those dirty movies.
No, no, it ain't no dirty movie. It's just it's a good show, but I can't remember all the people in it because, hell, I don't want to mess up some, but I mean, I can't remember the names because there's too many people.
It's a good movie. We'll just leave it at that.
Shoot, yeah, it's a good one.
You say shoot a lot, don't you?
Shoot, yeah, that's it.
I'm really a fan of yours. You know that.
Well, thank you, Burt. Appreciate it. I'm a fan of yours, too.
And you know who's really a really nice young man is your son. Dinah and I met him. We went up to go kite flying off the mountains one day.
Buck?
And old Buck was there, and boy, he's really a gentleman and nice young man.
Yeah, he's quite a boy. He and his whole family, they got a ranch up in Shiny Mountains up in Montana there, and they all, I'm going to go back after I finish this show. I'm going to go up with my daughter, Faye Dean, their little boy, Tack, and my wife and myself. We're going up there for...
Tack?
Tack, yeah.
That's the name. I love that.
Tackalote.
You named him Tack?
No, my daughter named him Tack. We're making a picture and
Buck?
Buck, yeah.
And Dub?
Yeah. Shoot, they got all funny names for us, you know.
Yeah. What's your wife's name?
Florence.
Has she always been your wife, all along?
45 years we've been married.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's... We've been married 45 years, and she's a great person. She's a very immaculate person. Me, I'm kind of a little bit, I just chunk things around, but she's just, everything, she'd always clean up everything. The other night, I got up about 3 o'clock to go downstairs to go to the bathroom. I came back up, and the damn bed was made up. Pretty fast.
That's neat.
Pretty fast, yeah. She's quite a girl, though. Well, everybody have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah. I was just sitting here. You look like Santa Claus because your little red cheeks.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's the bourbon flush. No, I haven't had a drink in 25 years, but I quit that stuff. I can't drink it anymore. If you reach a certain age, you know, you just can't take it anymore.
You know, you came over and had lunch with me the other day, and we had lunch with Ben Johnson, who's our buddy.
He's quite a guy.
He's one of the great horsemen in the picture business. And you've been in 5,000 westerns. Do you know how to ride a horse real good?
Well, I ain't much on riding. I always had to be riding. I was always at the tail end where all the rocks and all that stuff were chunking up in there. I don't care a lot about a horse, but a lot of people recognize me. A lot of people come up to me and say, yeah, you know, I've seen you in 1,000 pictures. What's your name? I just say, Robert Redford. Makes them feel good, you know.
That's what I say.
It makes them feel good, and then I tell them, you'd be surprised what the makeup artists can do in them things. They can make it look all different kind of ways. But I like show business. I've been in it now for 40 years. That's a long time.
Yes, it is. And you've never ever been, I don't think I've ever seen you in a picture when you were ever bad. I think you were always looked exactly like you did now.
Yeah, well, Bonnie and Clyde, I was pretty bad. I was a finky in there. I got them all.
Well, you mean a bad guy,
yeah.
But you were wonderful in that picture.
Well, thank you, Bud. I appreciate it. Sure, I appreciate it.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
he should have been nominated for an Academy Award.
Well, thank you, Bud. I should. I'm a better duck caller and stuff like that.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Really? Dub, you've done a lot of hunting, I know, and in fact, you went hunting with my buddy Rip Torn.
Me and Rip.
I love him.
Rip,
Yeah.
he's a good old boy, yeah.
Oh, love
Yeah, he's quite a guy. He's a good shot, too.
I know he is.
You talking about Rip Taylor?
Rip Torn.
Rip Torn. Oh, I adore him.
He's a good friend of mine. Rip and myself done quite a bit. I learned to call, I've shot ducks with him, but I learned to call ducks by singing to them.
Really?
Most people think it. No, it's the truth, though.
Well, I like
my
you.
father used to take me down in Stuttgart, Arkansas years ago, and that's where I learned to call from them old Cajun boys down in Louisiana around in there, too.
Yeah.
But I learned to call to them by singing to them, like you say, we're glad to see you come on back. we're glad to see you come on back. That don't sound like a duck, does it?
No.
Well, listen, we're glad to see you come on back. Now, listen. Peek, 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 peek. Peek, 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 peek. Yeah, now you take, and that's the truth, too. That's honest to God truth. Now, I call ducks, geese by hollering to them. Geese are very inquisitive. I'll jump up in the barn and holler, just jump up and down like that, and geese will turn around. They want to find out what the hell's going on, you see. But actually, I call geese like this.
You go down on Robertson Boulevard and do that, and you'll get in big trouble.
Don't do it around Dinah's Crystal.
I don't want to say anything, but the first one sounded like you were calling pigs.
Well, a lot of people do that for peek, 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 peek.
And ducks come.
And ducks come, yeah. I've had them suckers, I've had them sailing out there, just flopping along 15 to 20 of them go, peek, 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 peek. Me and the Greek, old Don Malice, I learned him how to call ducks. He turned out to be...
How do you call pigs? Duck, 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 duck.
Peek, peek, about the same way, but it's something, I don't know what the heck it does, but that ding it does something to them.
Did something to me, too, and I'll have to change right after the show. I'd like to have you play the xylophone.
All right, I'll run right on this. Excuse me, folks. Come out, all right. Hey, let's start y'all coming in, get me.
First of all, I want to thank the audience tonight for being so super. Doc, thank you very much. Had a good time tonight. Susie, I know you stayed over a day, and I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
I have a bill at the Beverly Silver Shop. Would you help me clear that up?
Big D?
Yes, dear.
Thank you.
My pleasure, darling.
Okay. Check you later. Kay, thank you very much.
Later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bert.
Doug, it was a pleasure, buddy.
Thank you, Bert.
Really fun. And tomorrow night, Linda Bennett, George Carlin, Mitzi Gaynor, Ben Johnson, and Sybil Shepherd in alphabetical order.
Yeah, Mr. Doc Severinson's orchestra.
I couldn't see the lining from way over there.
It's kind of groovy.
It's your own...
It's my own thing.
You designed some of the things you saw?
Oh, I designed them all.
Beautiful.
But I got to tell you that last night, the first show, you know, I got calls. First of all, the kinder calls, you know, all the family, the mishpucha, you know. For those of you who are not informed, that means family. And it was really, I didn't know, because you never know when you're doing it. Now, how long have you been doing the show, Ed?
October 1st will be 12 years.
12 years. Do you know when you're doing the show that it's cooking or it's
yes,
swinging?
Sure.
You know
I
it.
told you last night, I said it was a very solid show. It was there.
But
There's some nights when it's not there, you know.
Yeah, I know, but I don't ever know that, man.
Yeah.
I know it on the stage.
Yes, but I mean, it's hard behind that seat, I think, because of the interruptions that you don't control. In other words, you have to go to a commercial at a certain time. We must go to that commercial. Otherwise, there is no desk. Right? I mean, it has to happen. So that's what throws you off, I think. On stage, you're in total command of what happens next. You want to change a number, you change it, you do anything you want. Here, you must get those commercials in. We are
That's
here.
the funny thing.
We are just filling up the time between selling the soap.
Well, they make it possible.
Yeah.
I just wanted to...
That was solid last night. Should be a gas tonight. This one has all the earmarks of being a winner.
I think it's going to be really kind of super. Yeah. I really do, because we got, again, I don't want this to sound like it's a reunion party this week, but fortunately for me, our producer, Mr. Freddie de Cordova, he's surrounded me with a lot of people that I know and I appreciate and I admire greatly. And having Ed here, who came back off vacation so he could be with me, is just dynamite. So I feel, surprisingly enough tonight, I've just got sweaty palms. They're
not near as cold as they were last night.
No,
You're
but
fine.
I get cold, absolutely cold. Shall we go to this now?
If you'd like. So I mean how you have total control over everything?
Good, Mom.
Well, so go to commercial. What
we'll
do you do?
return with our guest right after this word from our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen.
RC Cola. Not too heavy, not too sweet.
RC Cola's got a real refreshing taste.
RC Cola.
Not too heavy, not too sweet, refreshing taste.
RC Cola. So keep it cool every day. The great refreshing RC way. RC Cola refreshes you.
It's right.
George Washington's mother was the kind of hostess who could welcome men like General Lafayette with homemade gingerbread. Today, Sears is painting her Virginia home with easy living paint. Sears' best flat finish latex for walls and woodwork, for every room. It's the tough paint that later washes clean like enamel. Mary Washington's recipe lives on, and we wish the same for her home. Sears' easy living paint for great American homes like yours.
Remember the good old days when you could buy a brand new car at a reasonable price? You still can. Just get the lowest sticker priced car sold in America, the Toyota Corolla 1200.
You sure have a neat car, Ricky.
See how much car your money can buy.
From Toyota.
Meet Jennifer. Jennifer O'Neill. Cover girl.
And mother.
Actress.
And country girl.
On camera and off, Jennifer stays with CoverGirl by Noxzema. It's clean makeup, fresh, clean coverage.
Looks clean, natural.
And it makes you feel good about your skin. Ask Jennifer why she stays with CoverGirl.
It's clean makeup. I'll never outgrow it.
Clean makeup.
CoverGirl.
Ladies and gentlemen, Go ahead, man. My first guest is a dynamite guy. I happen to have had the pleasure of being in his company on several occasions on this show when I was a guest, and also we have socialized a little bit, not as much as I would like, because he happens to be a real guy's guy. And the fact that he happens to be a ladies' guy drives me crazy. And he's extremely busy these days. He actually came over from the set where he's rehearsing, because he's doing a new picture for Peter Bogdanovich. It's called At Long Last Love. And he's got a new picture out called The Longest Yard, which has been released in New York and will soon be premiering all over the country, and it's getting good reviews. And I dig him, because he's got guts enough to be bigger than life. And I love him for that, man, because we need more cats like him. He is a movie star. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Reynolds.
Gambling boat league. Is it frightening? Oh.
Could go back for another photo.
Yes. I must say that is a bit spiffy.
I know. It's frightening what this does to you. It changes your whole personality. It really does, because I'm starting to talk like this after. Hello there, how are you? Absolutely marvelous. Let me have another one. And the pants are very, very big.
Very wide,
very big
yes.
pants in 1930.
Now, obviously, this is from the set, right? This is your costume.
No, these are my pajamas. Yes, I just came from the set, as they say in showbiz, and I will be returning there shortly because they need me. I have to go right back in about 30 minutes and do one of my big numbers.
Wait a minute, hold it.
Oh yeah, singing and dancing.
Yeah.
I got such respect for you now. Really. I had respect for you after you turned Jewish. But now, I mean, after I've been dancing and singing, man, it's so hard to do. Wow.
But you really move? I never knew that. I mean, you can dance?
I'm getting the vapors. Yes, I can move. I can move, and I'm singing 23 songs in this picture.
23 songs?
Yeah. Not a lot of talking, a lot of singing. You know in the old days, Peter Bogdanovich feels that the old musicals, not the old musicals, all musicals, there was such a long time between songs, you know. And then when the song came, it was so long. So he got Cole Porter, which isn't bad, you know, and got the best of Cole Porter. And I say, hello, how are you? I'm putting on my top hat. And then we
do that again, brother.
And then we talk a little more, and then I sing another song.
So in other words, it's like almost like they did with the Cherbourg, the thing with the
Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
Yes.
They go from dialogue, little dialogue, and into a number.
Right. Yes.
Hey, that's dynamite. I didn't know that you were doing that kind of film.
Yeah. Well, I haven't ever before, and it's a big chance. Very dangerous for Peter. But I'm having a great time. I'm really having fun. I'm having the most fun I've ever had on a picture in my life. Because I went to Russia's the other day, and well, you know, the first time you ever saw yourself on the big screen, you know what a strange feeling that is. But suddenly, because my idols when I was growing up were, you know, Cary Grant and David Niven, and I never got to play those parts. I'm always getting thrown down the stairs and kicked in the belly and all that kind of stuff. And to suddenly be dressed like this, and to sing and dance.
But weren't you afraid? Weren't you afraid that maybe you'd
No, that's always been my problem.
You're never afraid.
No, I suffered a lot because of that. I go where others fear to tread and have gotten killed.
But you know, the image that most people have, I know I have it, my wife has it of you, you know, that this is a It's a super, super kind of cat. And the one thing about you that makes you different from everybody else, the guys dig you too, which is really groovy, because most cats would resent a cat, but you're so big and so heavy, you know, and they know you do your own stunts. Wait a minute. The Tonight...
No, the longest yard...
Okay.
The longest yard is a football story, and what a terrific year this has been for me as far as my fantasies. One of my fantasies has been to play professional football, and I get to play a professional football player in this picture that's sent to a prison, maximum security prison, and the warden has a football team made up of the guards. So I get a team of the prisoners, and we play the guards. And as you can imagine, it's a strange, interesting game. And unfortunately for me, on the guards team was Ray Nitschke, Joe Cap,
ha 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 ha.
And they thought we weren't making movies. They thought we were in the Super Bowl. And they tried to hurt Bertie. Hit me a lot in the face, in the nose, in the head, and things.
We have a film clip of it.
A very sophisticated picture, very classy picture. You're going to see a really classy. You're going to see how classy this picture is.
Can you tell us anything about what we're going to see?
I think the clip we're going to see is about where I meet one of the really heavy guys in the prison, where I just go to prison and I meet the guy who's supposed to be the baddest cat in the prison.
Okay.
And we meet each other.
Can we run it?
It's very
nice people?
Very sophisticated piece of film. Dressed a lot like I'm dressed now.
Wonderful. Why is there always a thing of sense of humor running through you? It's always.
I don't know. I think that I think you can't survive without it. And I've had some really. I've been in a lot of positions in my life where I didn't have a gun, and I didn't have a bodyguard, and what got me out of them was a sense of humor, you know. And I'm attracted to it. I think it's the most attractive thing in anybody. And I think that I think this country is finally getting it back. We're finally getting our sense of humor back. About ourselves.
Yeah. Because when I see you do a thing with the series, or whether it was a picture or a film, there's somewhere along the line, and Cary Grant and David Niven had it, and David, of course, who's still making films, still has it, that even as they were knocking out the heavies and doing the number and making love to the most beautiful ladies in the world, they were all going, hey, this sure is fun. Which is
I do that.
I bet you do. Let me ask you something. The thing I wanted to, you know what they did with your centerfold?
Yeah.
You know they put...
Not everything they did with it.
No, but I'm saying, you know that they put other people's heads on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
I got one in my house.
Really?
That someone gave me, and it's your body and my head. And you don't know it, but you sure make a pretty brother. I know you got to go back. I thank you for coming.
I loved it.
And please, as you leave the studio tonight,
don't take Altavis with me.
Don't take Altavis with you.
Because I'll tell you something. She's been looking at that picture, and I think I could swing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Reynolds. There'll be a station break. We'll be right back, folks. Heavy. Sir Doctor. I'm telling you. This next lady, her name is Helen Reddy. And we've known each other for quite a few years, because I first met her in Australia. She is a super groovy singer. And she's also a very, very warm, sensitive human being. And I am so pleased because she changed the schedule around so she could be with us. She opens at the Sahara in 2 weeks, for 2 weeks rather, on September the 9th in Las Vegas. And I would say, run, do not walk, to see and hear her. She's something very special in our business. I would like for you, please, to welcome Miss Helen Reddy.
Thank you, and it's the Sahara in Lake Tahoe.
It's the Sahara in Lake Tahoe?
Because I played the MGM Grand in Vegas. They'll kill you.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that makes perfect.
That's
2
right.
days. I messed up again. It is the Sahara and Lake Tahoe, and Miss Reddy plays the Grand, the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas. See, I'm so confused because I am currently booked at 3 hotels in Las Vegas.
Really?
And I don't know which one I'll go and play yet. Whichever one that says they don't want me to do windows on Thursdays, that's the one I'll play. I thank you for coming tonight. I really do, because I'm such a fan of yours. I really am.
Well, you remember me when?
Yeah? Tell the people when we first worked together.
I was his opening act 15 years ago in Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne, that's a long way away now. But you know what kills me about you is that some singers it takes, I know we talked about it last night, Nancy Wilson and I talked about it last night, about how long it takes, and George Kirby, about how long it takes to get your own sound. When did you discover that you had a sound of your own?
I don't know. I used to listen to a lot of different people. I used to listen to Peggy Lee a lot when I was in my teens, and then people started saying to me, you know, you sound a lot like Peggy Lee, and I thought, whoops. So then I started listening to a lot of male vocalists so that, you know, any phrasing I unconsciously picked up would at least not sound too much like someone else. But I think it's something that just evolves. It has a lot to do with what period you grow up in, what your taste in music is. It all kind of comes together, I think.
What do you listen to at home?
Oh, at the moment I'm listening to a lot of demos because I'm trying to find material for an album. But I listen to the blues a lot. I love B.B. King. I like Ray Charles, of course. I used to listen to a lot of Chuck Berry at one time. I listen to a lot of different stuff, but mostly solo artists rather than groups.
Yeah. I find it hard, I don't know about anybody else, and I don't mean this as a put down, I just find it hard. I can't separate the groups. After listening to about 3 hours of the songs, and God knows I love young people and their music and what they got to say, I suddenly just, it all starts to run together for me. And I'm into solo artist again myself.
Yes, I think if you are a solo performer yourself, that's, you're looking to see what someone else is doing.
This young lady happens to be married, ladies and gentlemen, to a super groovy cat, and when she goes on the road, she breaks the rules because supposedly ladies who are married and who have family, when they go into show business, they see their families very rarely and this, that, and the other. But you take your family with you.
Oh, yes, all the time. Except if I have, 2 one-nighters to do, I don't take them. But if I go to Vegas for 2 weeks or Tahoe for 2 weeks, that kind of thing, we rent a house and we have a regular family life. It's marvelous.
How do you separate the two? I know how it took me too long to learn to separate it.
Well, we find we can't. We work together, and there is just no point. We don't say at 1 minute past 5, well, it's over, because there might be a call comes in at 7:15. It's just, it's part of our lives together, that's all. Why are you wearing nail polish on your pinky?
Oh, that?
Yes.
It's a very interesting story.
I'll bet it is.
Which I'm not about to get into at this time.
Good. Okay.
That's it. You'll just have to sit here and say, I wonder, is he or isn't he? We'll be back. The Tonight Show will continue. We'll return right after we have a word from our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen.
Starts tomorrow at the Century Plaza, Topanga Woodland Hills, and Edwards Drive-In, Newport Beach.
Mr. Doc Sevington and orchestra. When you go to Tahoe, do you get a? Because I work Tahoe quite a great deal at Harrah's, which is across the street from your place. It's like a vacation for me.
Oh, I love it. They give us the house right on the lake. They give us a French chef, Jean-Paul, who proceeds to fatten us up. He makes escargot for breakfast and all kinds of goodies. And
Escargot?
Yeah, well, I don't eat them, but my husband does.
Oh. What is escargot?
That's snails.
Ah.
Yes, well, I have the same kind of feelings, but I'm quite willing to sit there and watch someone else eat them.
Oh, good. Okay. Would you lay another one on us?
Oh, I really would. This is
what is that?
I do a little dedication here. This song is for all of us who know what the realities are, but can't help loving it anyway. It's called Showbiz. Faces come and faces go. The smart ones never let the wrinkles show. They're in showbiz. Good old everyone you know biz. And all the favors that you owe biz. That's really showbiz. White knights saving damsels in their black tights, parading Thomas on the bright lights. That's right, it's showbiz. A few of us will make it big. A few dreams will come true. The rest of us will blow the gig and find out we were just passing through. Showbiz.
Dynamite!
You know something? That song was written by a brand new songwriter. He's never had a song published before. He's just a kid came out of left field from
What's his
nowhere.
name?
His name is Dennis Tracy. And I have that song on a new album I have coming out at the end of the year. But that just goes to show you there's still a lot of talent out there.
Oh, my goodness, that is dynamite. And to Mr. Tracy, I say a hearty congratulations and welcome. We will return with our guest after a word from our sponsors. Yeah. I have a card here with a lot of nice words about this next friend of mine. I don't need no words on a card. First of all, he is probably one of the most multi-talented people that we have in our business. He is an actor. He is a very good actor. He is also an Emmy Award-winning writer. And he is absolutely insane. He has the #7 album in the country, ladies and gentlemen. And when you get up in that golden 10 with a comedy album, now, I think the title of the album alone will let you know where his head is. That nigger is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Mr. Richard Pryor. Why does I look at you and laugh?
I don't know. Maybe I'm funny.
You are funny. There ain't no doubt about that.
I love you, man, very much. I'm happy to be on your show, and I love it. I don't care what kind of nail polish you got on. I want the brothers to know the nigga ain't no. Y'all, man, he's a beautiful person, man. And he got me on the show. I met Sammy Davis Jr. You don't know when I met you, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Not the first time.
and I'm going to tell you. I met Sammy Davis Jr. He worked in Pittsburgh at the Civic Center many years ago, about 65, right?
Yeah.
And I sat outside your hotel room, and I lied to the guards and stuff. I said, I'm a security man for Sammy Davis. And you sent spaghetti out to me. I was sitting in the chair. You was looking at the room and said, who's that crazy nigga out there? You know. And I sat there all night, and we walked down the streets together, walked down the hall together. You know, you don't remember, do you?
No, I don't.
Well, it's all right.
I got something to lay on you that you don't know.
All right.
You know you're going to be on the cover of Rolling Stone?
What? You kidding? No, what's the Rolling Stone? Wait a minute.
No, you're going to be on the cover. Someone gave... Wait a minute now, it's here. Because someone found out about it and laid it on me. You going to be on... Let me see if I can get my glass.
You know what, though? You
going to be on it.
Listen to this. You got one eye. Nobody ever knowed it. Nobody would ever know you had one eye because your thing be so bad. People be saying, oh, come on. He doesn't have one. Well, good. If he had two, good God.
I understand you just finished doing you're preparing or doing something with Flip?
Yes, actually, I'm going to do the Flip Wilson special. And we commence in September doing the show.
And who's on the show with you, sir?
So far, it's Peter Sellers and Miss Lillian Tomlin. Wonderful actress, lovely lady. Then You're insane. You are insane.
I used to do impressions of you when I was little. I used to talk like you, do impressions. I never hugged the president, but...
The only answer I have to that is an answer I said to somebody when they asked me that about 2 weeks ago. Cat said, "Why did you hug the president?" I said, "I'm going to tell you what Hitler said to Goring when they were in the bunker together. It seemed like a good idea at the time."
I thought you was trying to open the Watergate.
No, tell me, I want to ask you one question. I understand when you won the Emmy that, what did you do with the Emmy you won? You gave it away.
Yeah, I took the Emmy. I won an Emmy, and I took it back to Peoria, Illinois, and I gave it to the lady that started me in show business, or the lady that stopped me from being a thief and a murderer. Was a lady named Miss Juliet Whitaker in my hometown. She run the Carver Center, Carver Community Center, right? And so I gave it like...
Pardon me.
So I gave... I gave it to the center, you know. I went back home, man, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I went back home, saw all my friends, and it's hard when you don't remember people. Because people be talking, you don't remember me? We used to get high together on Third. I said, no, man, I don't remember. We went to school together. Everybody go to school with you once you've been in show business. And women start wanting to make love to you, right? And women never made love to me till I got in show business. Show business has been good to me. I'm serious, man. Only people made love to me was the winos. Winos, I didn't want to go to church, right? So I'd hang with the winos on Sunday morning, right? Because church was scary, because my folks sent me to a white Protestant church, you know, because they wanted me to be a white Protestant. And they had that scary music. When you walk into church, they have that music like, ooh. And I go to black church, see, the black preachers be different. They take charge, they do a show for you. They be clean, too. If God ever saw a black preacher, he'd be happy. Right, because they be clean, they shake their head. You know, my text for today concerns the lifestyle of the youth of today as opposed to the youth of yesterday. Let me get down, right? Gotta go. In my travels, I've met many peoples. And the dude started... And the dude started preaching, man. He'd be mean. He'd be preaching from the Book of Wonder. Chapters in a vision. He said, a boy was born in Hard Time, Mississippi, surrounded by 4 walls that were not pretty. And then he shift on you. He get down. You know, I first met God in 1929. I never will forget this. Oh, well. I never will forget this. I was walking down the street. I said I was walking down... I was not running. I was walking down the street. I said I was walking. tuna fish sandwich. And I heard this voice called unto me. And I knew it was the voice of God. For it came from without a dark alleyway, as only the voice of God can come. However, I did not venture down that dark alleyway. For it might not have been the voice of God.
Yeah, Doc Severinsen. I'm about to say something that I have never said before on this show when I've had the honor of sitting in Johnny's seat. And I'm sure John, when he watches the show, will probably agree with me. That is one of the funniest hunks of people without doing a stand-up thing, but a cat just doing a number in a chair that I have ever had the pleasure of being exposed to in my life. That's it.
Should I move now?
No, don't move. Don't move yet, because I want to tell them that you'll be working at the Circle Star Theater in San Carlos on the weekend of August 31st. And
That's right.
please go see him. He is dynamite, and I've just asked him off camera if he would come and join me. We got to figure out some way that we work together, because just the joy of being in your company would be absolutely dynamite. Now you can move. On September the 8th, one of the most incredible endeavors in the history of daredevil sports will take place, which can be seen only on closed-circuit television. On that afternoon, my next guest will attempt to jump the Snake River Canyon, 4,700 feet on a steam-powered motorcycle. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't run that fast in the old days at 110th Street. I would like for you to welcome Mr. Evel Knievel, if you will.
Thank you.
Wow. You know what I like about you? One of the things, because we've never met, what I like about you is there ain't nothing small time about you, baby.
Thank you.
Tell me about the jump. I'm not going to ask the questions they got on here. I'm just going to ask you, everybody's going to be watching, everybody's going to be concerned about you. What are your feelings about it?
Well, I think the jump will be a success. You mind if I...
Yes,
open.
Let me have a light off of that, please.
Put it out, babe.
I hate to have you in my sky socket. You wouldn't know which direction to go.
Sure would. I hate to have you in the ghetto.
The canyon jump, I think will be a success. We fired 2 shots out there, and the last one we fired, which was last week, went, as far as I'm concerned, exactly like it was supposed to go. We had a premature parachute firing, and the machine went into the Snake River, and what we were actually trying to do was see if the shock absorber, which is in the front of the vehicle, would take the impact on the other side so that I would be all right if I rode it all the way in, but we never had a chance to see that because it went in the river. But I don't have, you know, the amount of money that the United States government has to test rockets. I wish I did, even though we've had millions to spend in this country on rocketry. We lost 3 astronauts on the launch pad at Cape Kennedy. There's a man named Robert Truax, who is my engineer, my chief engineer, who has had very little money to work on my project, maybe $1 million, and an awful lot of pressure put on his shoulders. So here's a man that pioneered rocketry in this country, who is now retired and who's working with me. And this rocket shot is as much of a responsibility on his shoulders as it is on mine. And I hope, and of course pray, and my family does, that this thing goes okay, because it's been pretty tough to live with for 4 or 5 years.
But the thing that strikes me, if I may ask, why? You know, I know the... No, I wasn't being facetious. I really wasn't. I know that there, you know, the cat says the greatest answer to why is because someone asked Hillary, why did you want to climb Everest? He said, because it's there. But when you're doing something this far out, you know, something that really could do it, is this going to be the culmination of your life? I mean, is this the one dream you had to do something like this? But you've done dynamite things.
When I got into this business, I did never think that it would come to this. I never thought of jumping a canyon. When I did, I went to the United States government and had written permission to jump the Grand Canyon from the Secretary of Interior, Mr. Udall.
I know that.
He then reneged and changed his mind, and I lost that permission, so I went to Idaho and I leased the property on that canyon. I don't think you can say anything about a man any better than his word is as good as gold. I don't care what compliment you pay a man, and I would like to have the canyon jump over now and be alive and have everything that I feel I've paid the price for success for, but I'd rather take a chance on losing my life if that's what I have to do to keep my word. You know, Sammy, when we all think about life and death, if people really look at it on a realistic basis, in time, we're all only here for a very short time, and
right.
I feel that God put me here to be the best and to live the best and do the best that I could, and when he's ready, he'll take me. I don't think a human being can ask for a better deal than that, and I'm a daredevil, and that's the way I live, and that's why I enjoy life.
Well, I give you 10 points for that. Because there ain't nobody in the world that loves good times and money and cars more than I do, but they ain't got enough money in this country. Not only across the canyon would I not go, how about across the street? No way, you know, but I appreciate what you do because, again, being in show business all of my life, you have captured the imagination of this country and the world, I think, internationally, because you are a daredevil, and we don't have them anymore, you know. And but we are concerned about you, because we don't want to lose you, man. We want you to be around to do a lot of things, and that's why I asked the question.
Well, if I go, you know, if I lose my life, not have to lose my life, I say this, I think very seriously about what young kids in this country may try to do, maybe in emulating me, doing what I do. And I say with very serious consideration, even though I haven't spent an awful lot of money at the canyon jump compared to what rocket shots are in this country, with this Sky Cycle, which looks exactly like any motorcycle that ever ran at Bonneville, Utah, only mine is steam-powered. It's not a motorcycle, it's a steam-powered Sky Cycle. I'm in an open cockpit where most of them are enclosed, so I can get out of that thing in case I have a mayday. The kids should know, and I want them to know, that when you take a chance or a risk, it should be a calculated chance or a risk. You should do things as professionally as you possibly could do them. You should surround yourself with good help. You shouldn't take a haphazard chance in life without weighing the amount of reward in the ultimate end. And I now, because of the things I've acquired, have to look at a saying that I've believed in all my life. Success is achieved by those who try and keep trying, and if you have nothing to lose and everything to gain, then by all means try. In my case, I do have something to lose if I lose my life, but I have something to gain also. Besides keeping my word, I tried something to want to be a first at it, and I did it in an honorable manner. I did it with the best help in the world that I could get, and I feel that I have the feelings, the good feelings of the country behind me. And well, I'll tell you, when the dogs stop barking at you, when the truck drivers stop shaking your hand, and the kids stop asking you for autographs, you're in a lot of trouble, and I've got it all going right now, and I'm going to keep it that way.
Well, there you go. I would like to tell you that Johnny Bench wants to tell you that he'll never switch again because of new body oil.
I keep my body in good shape, and I keep myself well-groomed, too. That's why I kept switching underarm sprays till I found one that gives me everything I want. New Body All-Powdery Spray without talc. It gives me the comfort of powder, and it's almost invisible, see? And the deodorant, like it says on the label, is micro-encapsulated, so it keeps releasing fresh deodorant at the first hint of moisture. New Body All-Powdery Spray without talc. I'll never switch again.
We're back, and with our guests tonight, and our last guest for the evening is Mr. Evel Knievel. And we're going to show some film. The first one, if I'm not mistaken, Fred, is... Fred, I'm over here, if you need me. I would like to show the... Can we show the Caesar's Palace film? Because this is the kind of thing this man puts himself up against.
This jump that was made at Caesar's Palace was made several years ago. The motorcycle went off of the takeoff ramp in a perfect fashion. There you can see it landing. When I hit that landing ramp, I went right over on my back, and I broke my hips and my pelvis. And if you're watching that film very closely, you can see how that helmet saved my life. I think that anybody that rides a motorcycle without a helmet on has got to be a fool or asking for trouble, because you can see where that helmet actually saved my life. That motorcycle hit the wall, went up over the top, and then, of course, it caught on fire. And I didn't lose consciousness until I got to the hospital, and I think I was probably unconscious for about 14 days, and then...
Can we, Fred, we can't rerun it? Once it's hit? Because I would love to see that again.
That film was shot by a fellow named John Derrick, who...
Now, this is your new cycle, right?
This is the Sky Cycle that I'm going to jump the canyon with, and this is the test shot we fired to try and get it across, and it went out very well for about 2,000 feet, and then we lost power, and it turned... It lost complete control because the amount of thrust was overpowered by the square board feet of air resistance. It went into the Snake River in Idaho, and we didn't find that machine for 3 months. We offered a $5,000 reward for it, and it was found just a month ago by a fellow that owns a fish hatchery downriver. And we fired another shot exactly like it this past Sunday morning, and we had a parachute malfunction, and it went into the river also. So we feel that the third time is the charm. We feel we know what went wrong, and I'm going to go on September the 8th, come hell or high water, and I am convinced that I can make it and do the job.
You ain't got nothing to worry about.
I hope.
You got it.
That is a kind of a, when you look at that, the total, you know, you talk about it, and we've all read about it, and we've all heard the cats on television talking about it, all the news commentators and the sports guys and all of that. And you really don't, until I just saw that film, you really don't realize that is a long way. That is a long way. Go ahead.
A champion like this man has done everything, and people are still trying to do. But I believe like the man believes in himself, you know. He's a champion, and I believe the man will do it.
There you go. Right. There you go. Yeah.
You know what they...
And if you don't do it, can I have the cane?
Yeah.
He's got a motorcycle on. He makes me, with my jewelry, I look like little Lord Fauntleroy, man. Can we get a close picture on this one ring that he's got there? Look at this ring here. Just get one on this one here. Hold it out here so they can see it. And they all real. There ain't no phony baloney there. And look at this. That ain't a bad either. And the head of the cane is a motorcycle in diamonds.
I can't buy any life insurance. Or if I can now, I don't want any.
That's the way, man. Go straight ahead. I would like to do, you know what I'd like to do if I could? Could I do a number?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got the film ready for me for the Caesar's Palace again? Good. And then can I do another number?
Sure. I think so.
Well,
commercial first.
Well, I would really like to do one. But first we do the commercial.
No, first the film.
First the film, then the commercial. That's a good idea, Rolly. We're going to rerun the Caesar's Palace film. Now, I want you to watch this, because any cat that could survive this, I got to believe, can jump over anything.
The jump, Sammy, was a good jump until I landed on a flat position on that ramp, and then the handlebars came out of my hands. You can see that asphalt there in that asphalt parking lot at Caesar's Palace. It actually tore those leathers. You can see them right here in this shot. It just split them right up the legs. And the only thing that made me really, I knew that my hips and pelvis were broken because I couldn't move my legs, and if I hadn't had the helmet on, like I said, I would have been killed. You see where the motorcycle's on fire there? Where it bounced through the parking lot at Caesar's Palace, and then caught the fire, and then went into the Dunes parking lot. The only thing that made me mad was the Dunes did not even pay me for making an appearance.
And had nerve enough to charge you parking. The Tonight Show will continue after we pause for a commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us.
To Larry Zonka, wide man caught in a narrow world, United Airlines dedicates friendship service. Our big fleet of wide-bodied jets gives Larry more room to enjoy more of our friendship service. Plus, space to get up and stretch. Another reason more people choose the friendly skies than any other airline in the land.
The friendly skies of your land. Cha-cha-cha. United Airlines.
I love beef. He loves beef. I love chicken. He loves chicken. I love liver. He loves liver. I eat meat. He eats meaty prime variety. 3 different dinners in one box. The beef flavor has as much protein as 5 ounces of steak. The chicken flavor as much protein as 7 ounces of chicken. The liver flavor as much protein as 4 ounces of liver. You like variety. Give him variety. Meaty prime variety. The different dinner dog food.
This is Bill Ficker of Newport Beach, California. Architect, yachtsman, and defender of the America's Cup with the yacht Intrepid.
This is my new 3-liter BMW.
From Germany's Bavarian Motor Works.
It's really hard to believe that a luxury sedan can perform like this. Road and Track magazine said it's the most sophisticated inline 6-cylinder